Pakistan's Army Chief Asim Munir has been weaving story which seems to be a half-truth and a web of propaganda. He has claimed victory in the aftermath of Operation Sindoor, and also he has painted India as aggression country who want to harm Pakistan and Pakistan's interest as such. To what extent Munir's delusion is true, or why he is waving such a wave of lies? In this particular video, we are trying to unearth and understand that what kind of risk also it put as far as the Pakistan's future is concerned. Now, in the recently concluded passing out parade at the Pakistan Military Academy, Asim Munir has called Operation Sindoor and the what you can call as the attack after the Operation Sindoor, or counter-attack after Operation Sindoor by Pakistan against India, as a collective success. Now, it is not for the first time. He has done so many times before in the last couple of months. Also, he has painted India as a treacherous enemy, but at the same time, he has said that Pakistan army has become or has remained successful against India as such. And not only that, he also has linked it to the earlier successes. Again, what kind of success is talking about does not make any sense, because no matter which kind of confrontation or war we had with Pakistan, India always has prevailed. Overall, he also has talked about a kind of strategic blindness and accusation as far as the Indian leadership is concerned. Now, what is historical reality? Because again, if you look at the Asim Munir's words, it seems he's talking about that Pakistan has always won any kind of war or confrontation with India. However, the reality is completely opposite. If you try to understand right from the start, that is 1947-48, Pakistan aimed to completely capture the Jammu and Kashmir region, but it failed many times. Again, in 1965, it attacked the western frontier of India, also caused a lot of the civilian casualty, but again, their entire plan was flipped because of the valiance and bravery shown by Indian soldiers. In 1971, again, we come in confrontation with each other, especially related to the issue of Bangladesh, and that everyone else knows that how it culminated by 93,000 prisoners of war India was able to capture, and Pakistan has to basically what can call as surrender, and this led to also secession of the eastern Pakistan, creation of new state of Bangladesh. In 1984, again, Pakistan wanted to have control over the Siachen Heights, that is on the northern part of India, to have control over Saltoro Ridge, but again, Indian forces were able to preemptively capture, and since then they have maintained their supremacy on the Saltoro Ridge. In 1999, again, Pakistan attempted to have some sort of what you can call as a win in the Kashmir region by mounting a surprise attack in the Kargil region, but again, after what you can call as in the aftermath of Operation Vijay, India prevailed and Pakistan was defeated. And since then, Pakistan has understood that it cannot win a direct war in India, because the advantage clearly lies toward India's side, and that is why they have continuously resorted to terrorism, and Pakistani military leadership always hoped that India would be able to absorb the terror incidents that are originating from Pakistan and would not retaliate. And this was true for many of the cases before, but situation seems to have changed since 2016. How? We'll discuss that later. But for now, it seems that why Munir is waving such kind of wave of lies, and this is nothing but to propagate the internal agenda of Pakistani army. Pakistani army has always focused on consolidating its power by ensuring that people of Pakistan support it. And the reason behind this is because they create a kind of myth around themselves, where they portray themselves as a protector of the nation. They believe, or they want the citizens and the people of Pakistan to believe that India is a permanent threat to the Pakistan and Pakistan citizens, Pakistani interest, and the only institution that can repel such threat is Pakistani army. That is why Pakistani people should accept whatever problems they have to face. They should make sacrifices wherever it is possible to ensure that Pakistani army, and more specifically its top leader, are able to enjoy economic dominance even at the expense of a state and even at the expense of citizens of Pakistan. It is nothing but an example of public indoctrination, and this campaign has been run by Pakistani army since we can say since many years, since many decades even, and to ensure it, Pakistan's army general has nothing else to do but to create a web of lies as such. Now, as far as the Indian success is concerned, we can understand this obviously from the DGMO briefing also, where the Director General of Military Operation of India came to and he gave a press conference where he said that just after 88 hours of operation that India conducted, the enemy had to beg for ceasefire, and that is what actually is the truth. Now, 9 targets were hit across the Pakistan. We have discussed that in detail in the Operation Sindoor video, and it is not only that we have only focused on the border areas. In this particular Operation Sindoor, we have focused on major what you can call as the major military sites and military bases of Pakistan, and we even have carried out strikes in the far deep interior of Pakistan as well. Overall, also DGMO has stated that under the Operation Sindoor, whatever political and military aims we had put forward, all were achieved. Not only that, India was able to display its air superiority because none of Pakistan's air defense system was able to capture and even what you can call as interfere or interact with the Indian projectiles as such. So overall, our strike were non-escalatory nature, it was control in nature, it was precise in nature, and it was nothing but to send a message to Pakistan that any kind of terror attack, if Pakistan try to do in the Indian territory, it will have to face severe consequences. Pakistan obviously has responded by nothing but rhetorics. ISPR, that is the what you can call as the press wing of the Pakistani military, it has stated lot of theories, a lot of stories, but they did not, or they were not able to provide any factual counterproof as such. Not only that, they also have given a veiled threat of nuclear weapons. So they have clearly stated that Pakistan and India should avoid any kind of nuclear escalation, and they also have focused on that now, because obviously they understood that they cannot have any kind of confrontation where the interest of Pakistan can be ensured, and obviously because of this reason, military of Pakistan is clearly hell-bent on stating that India and Pakistan should resolve its problems and issues with equality and mutual respect. So this is very clear from the terminology itself that what kind of result we had achieved in Operation Sindoor. Now, if we try to understand that there is a clear nuclear paradox, because both by the early 1998, both India and Pakistan became a nuclear powered country or nuclear powered nation, and the only country that today we have in the world is a Pakistan that uses terror under nuclear cover, and it has become the first nuclear state to do so. On the other hand, whenever India has faced in the last 7-8 years any kind of terror incident that definitely has originated in Pakistan, India has given a calibrated kinetic response, whether it was in the times of Uri, whether it was in the Balakot strike, or whether it was the recently launched Operation Sindoor as a counter attack or counter retaliation of the Pahalgam attack or Pahalgam terrorist attack, we can say. Global powers, because they understand that if both of countries are nuclear power and they keep on climbing on the escalatory ladder, then obviously it would result into a regional and maybe even global catastrophe. And that is why whenever India and Pakistan, the situation heats up, global powers try to urge both of nations to show a degree of restraint, and this is something that was visible in this time also, because US, especially Trump administration, was that deeply involved, at least from Pakistan's side, to ensure that situation becomes calm as soon as possible. Strategic messaging we have to give obviously to the world, that is something that we have not been able to do so effectively. And we have to do nothing but highlight the DGMO fact, what has been reiterated by General Ghai. We have to ensure that India has emphasized precision and restraint, and we also have to ensure that we can undermine all the claims, especially the false claim that Pakistani military and Pakistani generals are making. Also, we have to give a clear message to Pakistan that if they really want to ensure that such kind of situation do not repeats, they have to ensure that Simla and Lahore principles are adhered to, agreed to. Any misadventures along the border would see a massive counter retaliation by India, which Pakistan might not be able to absorb as such. We have to stress on credibility and legality of the steps that we have taken, including the abeyance of Indus Water Treaty that we immediately put once Pahalgam massacre was carried out. So that is the message that we have to give both to the Pakistan as well as to the world. That is all for this particular video. If you like the video, please hit the like button, share with fellow aspirants, as subscribe channel for more similar content. Thank you very much.